Catch and fire. It's on the. He made it! Oh my!
At 11-4, 2-3 in the conference. Maple Leafs come in at 0-5. It's Preston Husband, it is Jaden Woods, and it is the rest of our phenomenal FDN Sports crew. And what's been even more phenomenal for our crew is the Foresters inside this building. They are 7-0, Jaden, here on their home hardwood, and have just been a different team in front of this home crowd.
Absolutely, and the Lady Foresters as well pushed their overall record between men's and women's to 15-0 inside of Platt Arena for basketball season this year. They've just been incredible on home turf. They've been unstoppable, and it's been a great season for Huntington basketball.
Huntington, of course, is coming off a loss against a top 10 team in the Bethel Pilots. They have played the second hardest schedule in America, and currently their RPI, which we'll dive into a little later, is number 2 in the country. They have just been through the gauntlet tonight. It lessens up a little bit with a Maple Leafs team that comes in at 0-5, but you just cannot overlook any team in the Crossroads League, because any team at any night can surprise you, and Goshen's done that some in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the Foresters host a victorious record over them in the past, but every team in the Crossroads League, as we've heard countless times from every coach, is just, they could always light up for an incredible night. They're all so talented.
15 games into Coach Jared Yock's young career. Talked to me today about facing a lot of adversity. He's had injuries. He's had some eligibility issues with players. But someone in each and every game seems to step up. Recently, that's been a guy like Cade Brenner and Landon Beagle. They have to find that fourth, fifth, even sixth option because this team is so starter heavy. Their starters play some of the most minutes in the entire country, and they're just looking to get healthy. Some of them coming back soon. It sounds like Matthew Spears might get back on the court here sometime down the road. So as for now, Huntington needs to take care of business tonight against Goshen.
Yeah.
And then things again get tough on Saturday. And not saying Goshen is not tough, but here at home, you want to beat the Maple Leafs, and then after that, you've got Taylor, who has just been rock solid this year.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned with the starter minutes, last time out against Bethel, when they took that tough 6-point loss, only one bench player played more than 6 minutes, and that was Landon Beagle, who had 50% from beyond the arc, a couple boards and an assist, and obviously Cade Brenner stepped up a lot last night, or not last night, but last time out. So we'll see how they can work around building a solid crew around Caden Johnson, who's just been unstoppable lately.
Arguably the best center in all of the NAIA. He has just dominated at times, and he'll have a chance again tonight with a big height advantage. Huntington has been plagued a couple of times with some slow starts this season. They have been able to overcome it, but that was the main point of emphasis for Coach Yock. You're now in Crossroads League. You cannot get off to those slow starts. They found themselves down 21 at the half against the Pilots up in Mishawaka, and they dominated Bethel in the second half, but it was just too much to overcome.
Yeah, it's definitely important that they don't let any team but the Goshen Maple Leafs tonight go on a run. But as we've seen, they can really claw out of an unlucky first half, but we'll have to see how they can adjust going further into the season.
So Huntington getting ready. I think we just heard FDN Sports get recognized by Josh Kessler, the PA announcer here and a local pastor at the church. Always nice to hear from him. We're going to actually see Goshen's starting lineup first. What a difference in careers, life, and ages between these two head coaches. Dwight Gingrich is in his first year at Goshen, Indiana, but he has coached for 4 decades, and he's also been in educational leadership for those 4 decades. He became the new athletic director and basketball coach in 2025 on July 1st. He's a member of the Iowa High School Basketball Hall of Fame. He was at Hillcrest. I think this is so interesting, Jaden, and I'll tell you about it because I know you want to hear. 1981 to 2000, he was the head coach of Hillcrest High School in Iowa. He left for 1 year to become the interim head coach here at Goshen. He won co-coach of the year in the conference. He went back to Hillcrest for 24 more seasons. He has not had a losing season since before we were alive, 1996.
Just incredible.
Yep. We're going to take a break here to show the hype video on FDN Sports and be right back for tip-off. Now set for the starting lineup for the Huntington University Foresters. As talked about, Coach Yock in his first year has faced a tough schedule, but man, his team has responded. Right now they're at 11-4, looking for win number 12 in their first 16 games, and they're going to go with a familiar starting lineup tonight. It's going to be Caden Johnson, Miles Good, Cade Brenner, joined by Jackson Paul and Kalen Lasisi. This team has fought back. They have fought through adversity. They got beat by Grace, and then they went on a 4-game win streak against top 20, 15 teams.
Yeah.
Tonight, a little different test for them, a team with not much success so far this season. Coach Yock still expects the same effort and respect for the opponent tonight.
Absolutely, just as any good coach would. And Jared Yock tonight, very excited, obviously, to face Goshen, a team that the Foresters face very often and have faced for a long time, of course, being a part of the Crossroads League. But tonight is going to be a good game, and it's definitely a breather as the Foresters finally get to play at home on their turf where, you know, they get to really shine, as we've seen with just about every Forester team.
Forester starting 5 coming through and ready to roll in Platt Arena. They have a perfect record so far here at home, and there have been some fun ones against ranked teams.
I was there for one.
Yeah, close games against Morningside, Pikeville. You dive into their resume so far. It's just been quite the show by this team as we are underway, and Cade Brenner will hand it off to point guard Jackson Paul, second in the Crossroads League in assists per game. Will get it started for HU. Storyline tonight, Caden Johnson facing his former team Goshen, and Miles Good, first triple of the night, is off the mark. Cameron Williams at 5'11" skies and grabs the rebound.
You're pretty okay with Miles Good taking that one, though. Around 36% from beyond the arc, but that's a pretty long shot.
Been a little bit of growing pains maybe with Miles over the last 2 games, but that's right after 3 games ago he had 36 as a career high.
Yeah, Miles Good, and I saw the headlines for that. That was insane.
Johnson grabs the rebound and now forced ahead. Jackson Paul will run underneath it and drive to the rim. He's bumped, can't get it to go, and it's tapped out of there by Urai Minaravacek.
I think I got hit with the backwind when he turned those burners on. Man, he is so athletic.
From Slovakia here in his junior season, the forward at 6'5". One of a couple foreign-born players, as Johnson's going to be called for a personal, reaching around Kevin Cota inside, another international player from Mexico. Hey, Johnson, you never really get away with that one, trying to reach around, and not really a foul you want to see from KJ. Stay disciplined. You have the size on the offensive player, and just keep it straight up, as that was nearly over and back.
Man, that was definitely interesting. I saw the ref shaking his head at that one.
Northern is 0 for 2 so far. He can really get it going. Ken Northern from South Bend, Indiana, went to Washington High. He's a great scorer at 16 points per game, leads the way for the Maple Leafs this season.
Yeah, he's been definitely their primary scorer throughout the season. Tyrell Hunt right behind him.
Tyrell Hunt not going to play tonight as Brenner fires from deep from the corner. Losisi was getting clawed, still got the rebound, and Johnson goes with his right hand, misses one right at the rim.
Great vision from Good to hit the bigger man down low when he didn't have a good shot.
And Allen is fouled, and he will head to the free throw line. He is in his 2nd season with the Maple Leafs. He started his career at IUPUI, which is now IU Indy. And he's got a chance to score the first point of the night, 2 minutes in.
Yeah, this Maple Leaf squad has got a ton of juniors and seniors. They've only got, it looks like 4 players or 3 players as a sophomore or below. So this is one of those seasons where they've really got to make the most of what they have before entering a sort of rebuild.
Allen at 6'2" is more of a driver than he is a shooter. Just 10 3-point attempts on the year and only 65% from the free throw line. He'll have his second one sent up and rolls it in. It's 1-0 Maple Leafs here right at the 2-minute mark to start our first half.
Early full court press. This one's going to be a rough one for 40 minutes.
Entry pass, Kalen catches, working that big body inside, finds Brenner, who's wide open, a little left of top of the key, and knocks it in. And that's what we've talked about. You look at Caden, how slow he started this season. He has turned it on. He's all of a sudden 4th in the Crossroad League and made threes.
Yeah, he is a shooter through and through as this season has gone on. That's what we found out about him.
Northern already 0 for 2, kept that pivot foot down, finds Allen. Coda will take a three at the top of the game. It's way off the mark. And Lasisi, who's a great rebound, has his second.
Yeah, Coda 0% from beyond the arc for this season, so that was definitely a heat check.
JP using the seal, and now Lasisi can't get it to go, but he has a chance at the free throw line. Lasisi just so strong and surprisingly athletic.
I was going to say.
Sometimes he just goes up and dunks when you think, man, I know he's 6'6", but just gets off the ground so well.
Yeah, you see, flashes of previous hyper-athletic teens. Like, obviously the first person that comes to anyone's mind is Zion Williamson. They've got a pretty similar play style, so he's definitely exciting to watch, and a little bit of acrobatics in midair right there, He's got a lot of facets that are working for him coming from France.
Second one is too strong, and Coda tipped it to himself for a rebound. Well, Cece shot it pretty well from the free throw line as well this year. It's 68%. That's after nearly 50% last year at Rio Grande. A couple of the bigs for HU have really worked hard on that in the offseason. 15-footer is off the mark. Looking for contact there was Cameron Williams. And it's last touched by HU as Landon Beagle is going to take Caden Johnson out of the game.
Man, these Maple Leafs, they've got a long roster, a lot of options to choose from, and basically everyone who will touch the ball tonight should score at least. So they've got a lot of options working for them.
Coda has the size against Paul, who is a great defender in that painted area. Northern spins, corrals, can't shoot and score, and Jackson Paul will push the pace, bounces it to Lasisi, who adjusts midair and has now 3 points to start the game.
Amazing body control from the 6'6" big Kalen Lasisi.
Paul doing what he's done all year, being the facilitator, but also averaging a career high in points as Northern finally gets loose and scores his first two.
Absolutely. Jackson Paul in his 5th year of basketball, he's definitely been showing out as he comes into his final season.
6'3" Foresters as Brenner handles the handoff. And now Good working against Northern. Miles out of Fishers, Indiana, the Lawrence North grad, having a nice redshirt freshman year. Brenner can't get that one to go all the way down. It was about 3/4 of the way and spit back out.
Just very unlucky right there.
Allen working against Good, and now Coda has it once more. Huntington doing a great job cutting off those handoffs, but Williams gets to the rim, misses another one as Beagle has his first stat and then threw it right to Goshen.
Beagle's been a solid offensive producer for them throughout the year and gets a little tied up on the throw there.
See the replay here. Williams, very athletic at 5'11". If you look at his bio, they ask a lot of these Maple Leafs players, what is your favorite athletic memory? Dunking on a 6'10" player at 5'11". That's not something I can do. I'm not even 5'11", but just incredible athleticism and something that he's able to do. And he's been a nice addition all the way from Los Angeles, California.
Sheesh. Yeah, the recruiting for a league as tough as this goes all around the country.
Another guy that's maybe just as athletic, just missed that shot, Kenny May. He dunked right on Jackson Paul towards the end of the Maple Leafs loss here in Huntington, Indiana last year. He's a great athlete and having a nice year. JP right in that favorite area gets his first jump shot to go.
Beautiful fall away from JP. Such a smooth jumper as he goes up for that one.
Your defense, you want to force him out past the three-point line and maybe make him shoot it catch and shoot. But when he gets that rhythm dribble going in that mid-range area, he's deadly.
Absolutely. He's definitely got tough shots, Hall of Fame.
Steps back. Northern doesn't take a ton of threes. Kept that pivot foot down as Beagle has really shown some great defense here. Johnson fighting for the loose ball. And it's going to be on Coda. That might be a tough call on Goshen because I thought
they were really fighting for it.
I thought Johnson could have been called for a foul right there.
Right there, yeah, off the bump. That was definitely a bit of a wrestling match there.
So that's going to take us to our first media timeout. Wrestling, basketball, whatever you want. We've got it on FDN Sports, and now we've got our first media timeout. Foresters up 8-3 in Platt Arena when we come back on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa's State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back in Platt Arena, it is 8-3 Foresters. A slow start offensively over those first few minutes, but now back into their rhythm. And a big reason why is Cade Brenner just keeps finding ways to knock down shots. So far, just 1 for 3, but man, when he gets looks like this, he is deadly from outside.
Absolutely. He's got a very smooth jumper. If you give him a little bit of room, he's going to take that pretty much every day of the week. As you mentioned, 3rd in the Crossroads League and made 3-pointers. So the Foresters have definitely been more of a physical team this season, but they've been able to rely on some good shooters like him and Landon Beagle.
Miles Good will start the offense here. We're seeing Jackson Jones for the first time. That's one of the names that comes up when Jared Yock is talking about getting a little deeper into his bench. He thinks Jones is going to start getting a little more run, and he's deserved it. He's had some really good games, including 7 big points in that IWU win. Good, had that knocked away, and it's picked up. Northern bounces it to Savion Williams, who's fouled by Jones at the rim, and Savion will head to the free throw line.
Man, great vision from the defender to knock that ball away. That was such a short travel path for the ball, and he still found a way to slap it away and get a possession for the Maple Leafs.
Williams is a very capable scorer out of Cleveland, Ohio. He's now in his 2nd year at Goshen. Transferred from Des Moines Area Community College. So he transferred in 2 years ago, and then Coach Gingrich, all the way from Iowa, transferred in as well as the AD and head coach. Those two have that Iowa connection at 75% this year. Williams is coming off the bench, but he's had as many as 10 points in this building in the past, so someone to keep an eye on for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Dwight Gingrich, is it? Gingrich. He came in, and I believe he was responsible for the hiring of the new women's head coach as well.
Good from way downtown is off the mark again. Has not shot it real well here over the last 2 games. 0 for 2 tonight.
That's not really his spot. I don't think it's really anyone's spot that far out, but he's going to keep taking them if they're going to leave him that open out there.
I have to remember he's really playing his first full season of college basketball as well, so he's going to go through some of these up and downs, but I'd like to see him get back to getting into the paint as May takes a long 2 and rattles it in.
The long 2 is a lost art, probably for the better, but he shows why it can still be utilized.
May averaging 8 points per game off the bench. Talked about his athleticism. He's only 18% from 3. That time looked awfully comfortable taking a long jump shot. JP directing traffic. And now using Caden Johnson's screen. Bounces it to KJ, and he's got his first cram of the night.
The first dunk of the night is always a fun one. KP showing him how it's done out there.
KJ is having an excellent season. We've talked about it, 15.4 points per game, also 11.1 rebounds. Defense by Jones. Northern shot fake, backtracked by JP. Tough 2 up and in. Got the roll after hitting the back of the iron.
I can't believe that one went in. I thought for sure KJ had that board.
Right now, Goshen's hanging around, getting close to the 12-minute mark. It is 10-8 Foresters here in their home gym where they're perfect so far this season.
Yeah, this is not the start that they were hoping for, but still collecting it.
Miles Good finds Jackson Jones, now 8 on the shot clock. Beagle takes a tough 3. That was not a good possession by the Foresters offensively.
Yeah, very contested shot. That's definitely not the one you're looking for in a game this close.
Northern looking against JP. May uses the screen, curls around, gets into the arc, and now they're looking for Coda inside. Coda stopped by Johnson. May using that athleticism, takes a tough 10-footer, and he's got 4 straight now, and it's 10-10 here in the first half.
Man, these Maple Leafs are really working that mid-range. Again, a lost art, but they're showing that they have been practicing that one.
Huntington just not able to get into any sets, already 13 seconds off the shot clock. They're trying to throw it into KJ. This time he catches, and he's got 2 dunks already here in the first 9 minutes.
You're going to see that a lot from KJ. Again, as you mentioned, one of the best centers in the country, really, for NAIA. And he's just been a great producer for Huntington.
He had an impressive up and under dunk on last Wednesday, New Year's Eve against Lawrence Tech, and now he's got 2 tonight. Williams and Coda working together. KJ's got 1 foul already, stays straight up and forces that off of Coda's knee for a Goshen turnover.
Yeah, it looks like Coda lost it, and then instead of diving for it, really wanted to get the call there to get possession back, but no luck.
Coda from Nogales, Mexico, went to Cedar Valley High School. 28 games, 8 starts as a freshman, where he averaged 6 points per game. 26 games, 13 starts last year, and he's at a career high in points per game this season as a junior. JP and Lasisi, deep pass KJ, good. His 3rd 3, that one's way short again, and Williams rebounds it.
Not missing a step in confidence, though. He's still firing on all cylinders in regards to taking that.
Williams steps in and gives Goshen the lead. It is now 13-12 Maple Leafs. They grab their first lead of the night.
Williams, as you mentioned, very capable scorer. He's not necessarily going to take a lot of threes, but that one he takes and makes.
Good, goes to the rim, and that's what I think we need to see more of, because maybe after a couple of those, shooting the ball becomes a little easier as well.
Absolutely. Good is shifty, and he is quick. He's going to get to the rim in a second. You're not even going to know he's there yet.
May. And now Williams looking for 2 straight, rattles it in. He's got 8 already, 7 since coming in off the bench.
Yeah, he's just here to raise his 3-point percentage, I guess.
18.2% coming into today. Talked about last year, just 12 games, no starts, averaged 6.8. This year he's just at 4 points per game. So he's well over his average in the first half. And a foul is called on Kenny May, and that's going to take us to our second media timeout. First, the foul, and before we send you off for a break, Caden Johnson has been living on the rim here in this first half. Foresters trail, though, 16-14 with less than 10 in the first half.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Here's Caden Johnson living on the rim, his second dunk tonight. He's been doing an excellent job getting those good looks inside, and Huntington needs to keep going inside to him. Right now he's got 4 points on 2 of 3 shooting. You just look at how far he has come. He played for the Goshen Maple Leafs as a freshman. He was on the all-freshman team. He was all-state. A player in Michigan high school. He played baseball, soccer, golf.
Yeah.
And now you can kind of see all those other things coming together. He's more athletic than people give him credit for. Maybe even I gave him credit for.
Yeah.
Because he's had so many dunks recently where he is just going up and putting someone in the rim. And he wasn't doing that kind of stuff last year. He maybe wasn't going as hard to the rim or would miss some of these easy shots. Now you always feel good when number 1 on the Foresters has the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely a confidence thing. He's been told, like, man, you can just really get into it.
They're going to triple team him here as Jackson finds Lasisi deep in the paint, and that is where Kalen does most of his work.
Kalen, very talented scorer. He's definitely dropped a little bit in the amount of points he's averaging, but he is doing great so far.
May steps on the end line, and that was Cade Brenner that time who was able to force the turnover.
Good hustle there from Brenner. He's really able to slow down the offense there and get a new possession for the Foresters.
16 all here with 9:13 left on FDN Sports. Foresters looking for their third Crossroads League win as Jackson uses the off screen from Lasisi. Brenner again from three-point range is strong. He's now 1 for 4 out there tonight.
They've taken a lot of threes so far, not necessarily made a lot of them, but they're getting open, just not converting.
Williams for 3 straight. Doesn't get the roll, and Jackson Paul goes high up and knocked it to Caden Johnson for the rebound. Metzger, who can be a flamethrower, sidesteps, fires, and rattles in and out. There's Kalen again, another opportunity.
Quick little reset there. That was some quick basketball, but good to slow it down.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah,
Kalen
definitely.
Lasisi's jersey was getting pulled here. You'll see it on the replay.
Yeah, almost took the jersey clean off.
And if he wouldn't have done that, Lasisi probably catches and fires it to the left wing. Huntington has a good look, but maybe the foul by May benefits the Maple Leafs because now Huntington's got to get back in their offense with 20 on the shot clock.
Yeah, against a team like the Foresters, a foul's not always the worst thing.
Brenner had a layup, but instead it falls to Jackson Paul, who misses a short floater at the rim, and Huntington, who had a lot of good opportunities that possession, come away empty. Metzger knocked it away, and the foul comes late as Cameron Williams will pick one up on Tatum.
Yeah, it was a quick drive, and he just reached in a little too hard. You can see Jackson Paul trying to catch him there on the downtrend.
Williams will take a seat, gets a nice applause from his coaching staff as Joshua Gentry, 6'8", out of London, England, will check in for the first time.
Man, they've got some variety on the squad.
They do. A lot of players from a lot of different countries. That's something we've seen happen a lot now recently in the Crossroads League. We've seen it for a long time with soccer, but it's really starting to blend into the basketball side as well.
Yeah, an ever-growing sport, basketball, especially in such a tough conference where it's loved so heavily.
May finds another corner, top of the key. It rattles in and out. Gentry kept it alive. Good on the floor. Possession arrow would go to Goshen, and it's going to, as the shot clock went off, but it should just reset to 20 because the first shot did hit the rim.
Yeah. Man, the Maple Leafs are playing very aggressive and hard basketball. They're really making the Foresters earn every single thing that they've gotten.
Kind of similar to what we saw from Caden Johnson in the Bethel game. Kind of coming out maybe still asleep, some would say. He's just not going after these rebounds like we've seen recently, and that's what Huntington got off to a slow start. And a big reason why is Bethel's getting all these extra opportunities on Saturday. Goshen's already done that a handful of times in this first half, and that's just something that's going to drive Coach Yacht crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a defensive coordinator for such a long time, he's really aired in getting boards, and they're just not grabbing them right now.
And you see that extra opportunity leads to a Williams 3, and now Goshen, their largest lead of the night, 19-16. Lasisi threw it inside. It's a foul on Gentry, and that's going to be the fourth on the Maple Leafs here in the first half.
The fifth, I believe, actually. 10 fouls in the first quarter first half is, well, first half of the first half really is not what you want to see. It's very hard ball.
19-17, both teams creeping closer to the bonus here in the first half. Huntington in a dogfight right now with Goshen. KJ goes to that left-handed, scores. Gentry's at 6'8", but he's giving up 3.5 inches to Caden Johnson, who's just money inside the painted area.
Yeah, Johnson not only has a height advantage, but he's got really good footwork and just good talent overall.
Williams tried to get up in the air and listen for the whistle. He skips it to May, who will now put it on the floor. Brenner stopped the drive. Gentry takes a 3 now, and he knocks it in.
They are killers from beyond the arc. They have been really shooting it well.
He was 1 of 3 from downtown coming into tonight's game. Now 2 of 4. Brenner, sidestep, another 3 on the way. He is ice cold to start this one, and now Caden Johnson's picked up his second foul. as Brenner's now 1 for 5. Good has not brought a whole lot offensively. And now your best player has 2 fouls, and it looks like Coach Yock's going to keep him in there.
Yeah, Johnson right now, they're really wrapping him up. They're doing a good job of boxing him out and stopping him from getting to the spots that he wants to. But even with that, still leading the squad with 3 and 4 from the field, 6 points. But they're doing a good job of slowing him down.
Yep, Huntington's 1 of 10 from the 3-point line, as they have just found no opening at all against this Goshen defense. And even some of the good looks just not falling at the moment.
Yeah, Goshen has been playing hard-nosed basketball, though, and they want to keep that up if they want to stop these Foresters who are so predominant at home.
Right side, Deacon Hill back cutting. Jackson Paul reached in, maybe could have been whistled for a foul. Goshen wanted one, but now Huntington pushes with around 6 minutes in the first half. It's a foul on a sub, Jacob Carlson, who's from Grand Block, Michigan, in for the first time.
Jacob Carlson, not their most efficient scorer, but he is averaging around 6.5 a game. He's providing valuable resources with that alone.
Miles Good will put it on the floor again. A foul is called on the floor. And now it's going to be 1-and-1 opportunity, as I think Miles Good will be the shooter.
Both teams now in the bonus. That's the 13th foul on the floor.
Oh, I think it should be Caden Johnson shooting, actually. But they're gonna give Miles Good the free throws, but it should be Caden Johnson shooting.
It looks like, yeah, they are swapping them out.
So the foul was down underneath against Gentry.
Yeah.
I guess you'd want Miles Good to go there. He's at 84%, but KJ has raised his free throw percentage by 22.3% this season. He was 40% last year. He's now at 62.3.
Yeah, and really, as a big, as talented as him, you can't have your free throw percentage that low, or you're going to end in the same territory as Shaq. Like, they're just going to hack you until you get to the free throw line because you can't make them. But right now, this season, he's proving that he is able to improve that as he makes the first of 1-and-1.
Yeah, that one didn't even think about hitting the rim, and that's what we've seen a few times. We've seen a lot of 1-for-2 trips, but we have gotten away from King Johnson, the 0-for-2 trips, or the front end of the 1-for-1. He does go 1-for-2 there. Beagle keeps it alive, though, with an offensive rebound. Now Huntington can get back within 1 or tie the game. And a sloppy first half by these Foresters.
This is a pretty key possession for them.
Good.
Oh, my
Crafty
goodness.
move. Look away from the basket, gets to his right hand. And again, when he gets going downhill, that is sometimes when he's at his best.
I don't think that even physically should have happened. How'd he get backwards momentum there?
Little English on it. That 3-ball is perfect from the left wing now. Carlson at 30% knocks in his first of the night.
Yeah, Foresters definitely beat them out in regards to efficiency beyond the arc, but tonight, the Maple Leafs are on fuego from back there.
Jackson, again, 14-footer off the mark, and then kept alive. Gentry couldn't keep it in play, and the Foresters will keep possession.
That's his spot, too. You know he's mad about that one. I mean, that's just one that he makes 9 out of 10 times, and there's the 10th time.
Yep, Williams touched it last. Carlson maybe had a finger on it as well. Huntington down 4 here, 5:15 left in the first half. Both teams will shoot 1-for-1 the rest of the way. Good, carves through the lane again, finds KJ, who rocks the rim once more.
KJ with a slam down, his 3rd dunk of the night.
Williams then quickly turns on the boosters and is fouled. And that should take us to our final media timeout here in the first half.
Maybe not because it's 5 exactly.
No, I think it usually is still.
Yeah,
and
there
it
we
will
go.
Be, so
there we go.
5 on the clock, our last media timeout. When we come back, it'll be Savion Williams at the free throw line, but Caden Johnson keeps living on the rim here on FD Sports. 25-23, Maple Leafs in front. Right now they are on fire. 9 of 18 from the field, 5 of 8 from downtown. 4 turnovers, but 4 assists, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Huntington, they are not on fire, especially from downtown. Still just 1 of 10 from out there. 6 assists on 10 made field goals, but just trying to open up the lid from downtown.
Yeah, Jackson Paul has led the way in assists for the Foresters for sure. He's got 4 tonight already, and that's pretty average for what we've seen from him, but average for him is stellar for most point guards, so he's doing great.
26-23 as Williams continues to add to his total here in the first half. He knocks down both, and he's leading the way right now for the Maple Leafs. He just continues to find ways as we see Max McComb for the first time. He has played 2 total minutes this season, and that was at Grace. Luke LaGrange also in there as well.
Definitely getting into his bag, as you mentioned. Max McComb, very lanky and strong guard.
Caden just traveled, just walked with the basketball.
Yeah, that's just not at all what you want to. Yeah, he's just stepping forward there.
Not sure how many times we've seen that this year, but right now, Jared Yock is extremely disappointed with his starters' effort, and he's yanked every single one of them out of the game except for Kalen Lasisi.
Lasisi has been a bit reserved tonight. He's been good on defense, but he hasn't taken too many shots.
Don't see this from teams very often, as that's well defended inside by Lasisi and McComb. Jones will push the pace. He finds LaGrange, who fires from 3 and knocks it in.
Money from Luke LaGrange. That's what you want to see. Could be a spark for him.
LaGrange did that once already this year against Morningside when he knocked in a triple when the starters weren't producing. His dad, one of the best players in Forester history. Luke has barely played in his career, but he's getting a chance tonight. Savion Williams just keeps going to work and has 2 more. And it's a 3-point lead as Jones will run ahead with it. And he's bumped, but has it taken away by Northern. Out and running, Cameron Williams. Williams to Northern. Dribbles all the way in and scores again. Huntington down 5 in the first half.
Northern is such a talented 3-level producer that he's going to get you to bite on every fake, on every hezzy.
Grange gets it across. Here comes the double. It's kept in by Jackson Jones, and now McComb has it. Swings it to Wyatt Zepp. First time we've seen him get real action, and he knocks in a triple.
And the B team is on fire from beyond the arc.
That's his first official points as a Forester. I mean, we're going deep into the bench, and this is Jared Yock simply sending a message to his guys to wake up, because this has been too common to have these slow starts in the first half. Now Lasisi kept it in. Huntington has numbers if McComb pushes the pace. Max able to backtrack and now looking for an option. It's Zepp looking for 2 straight. Why not?
Yock.
Maybe he's finding his way into the rotation with 2 triples.
He just might be. Wyatt Zepp. Back-to-back threes.
I mean, Zepp out of nowhere. Transfer from Concordia. Didn't play a whole lot there last year. Has not played at all this year. Has now given Huntington momentum.
The bench squad came out and they said, listen, if you're not going to make the most of the minutes you got, we're going to earn ours tonight. Another
3 straight, and Zepp is off the mark a little strong there. This place was ready to erupt.
I heard it behind us.
Carlson has the rebound.
Zepp, a smooth jumper. He gets way up there. That's going to be a hard one to block if ever the opportunity arises.
And he's a 6'8", so he can spread the floor a little bit. If he puts a little muscle on, maybe he's part of the rotation in the near future.
I could see it. Lasisi wants it.
He gets it. He adjusts. He was fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line for 2 free throws. It looks like Coach Yock's about to make a big change again. But man, Wyatt Zepp and Luke LaGrange just gave the energy right back to the Foresters in this first half.
Absolutely, and honestly, as a bench player, that's your job. Your job is to come in and just add momentum, add fuel to the fire, and that's exactly what they've done, and they've done it at an exceptional level. They came in and they were 3 for 4 from beyond the arc immediately, only took threes and only made threes until that layup from Lasisi right there.
So Lasisi, 2 shots right here. Try to extend this lead. First one up and off the mark. So I talked about him being 68.2% this year. He's now just 1 for 3 tonight. And Luke LaGrange, Wyatt Zepp, Jackson Jones, and Max McComb get a nice applause from this crowd. And, you know, sometimes you have to wake up your team. You got to put in some guys that maybe haven't been given the chance. And if they run with it, maybe Wyatt Zepp comes part of your bench rotation the rest of the year. It's just what coaches do, and I applaud Jared Yock for not being too scared to send a message to his guys.
Absolutely. Again, he literally said, if you're not going to make the most of the minutes, then somebody else will. And they really did. So now we'll see how the starters can turn around what was a sloppy start to the first half in the last minute.
33-31, Foresters back in front. The lead is seesawed back and forth as Williams has had the hot hand. That one's strong. Jackson Paul clears. Jared Yock telling his team to push the pace with 90 seconds. Beagle catches, good 3 from the wing. Finally gets one to go.
There it is from good. That's what you are expecting from him. 1 for 4 now from beyond the arc.
And a moving screen, and now the Foresters have woken up, and their coach, Jared Yock, a young head coach, is fired up on the sidelines. And I think that Coach Gingrich would like to use a timeout. He will, and we will go ahead and take a quick one with them. It's just a 30-second timeout. A moving screen, the bench crew, and Jared Yock has woken up Platte Arena. The Foresters back in front on FDN Sports. Foresters have found some sort of momentum, and it's Wyatt Zepp off the bench making his first real contributions in an HU uniform. 6 quick points, and now the starters back in the game after Coach Yock sent his message. Huntington up 5 with 1 minute left in the first half. KJ was the early offense, misses that one right at the rim, and it's rebounded by Braden Allen, but Jackson Paul wins possession. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on JP. And here's the replay.
Yeah, he got a hold of it, and then you can't really see it there, but he pushed him off a little bit, and it looks like.
So the reason they're not shooting free throws here, they're going to call that an offensive foul, technically.
I guess, yeah, he did have possession of the ball there.
So on one of those loose ball fouls, if Goshen would have had the basketball, they would have then had free throws because Jackson knocked him over as playing defense. But Jackson Paul had possession, dribbled this way, and then used the off arm. So it's going to be offensive, and it won't be free throws because you can't go further into the bonus on offensive fouls.
Yeah. Speaking of fouls, 17 in the first quarter alone.
Goshen has a chance to go 2 for 1 here as Northern can't get it to go. Lasisi skies his head at the rim, has another rebound, and now he pushes it across the timeline, finds the redshirt freshman Miles Good, and Coach Jared Yock is going to use his use it or lose it, and we're going to keep it here and talk about our first half stats. 36-31 Foresters. It took them a while to wake up, but now a little better percentage we're seeing, Jaden, in this first half. 14 of 29 from the field, 5 of 15 after starting 1 of 10 from downtown. They've come around a little bit offensively here and lead by 5.
I was just about to bring up the three-pointers. They're 5 of 15 now, and they started 1 of 10. Good was 0 for 3, Brenner 1 for 5, and then the bench came in and just knocked down 3 straight, and then Good came back and made one. They've increased their efficiency a lot in just the general field, and really the only section that they're lacking in a little bit is free throws, 50% from there. But they've gotten assists, they've pushed the ball forward, and they've shot it well at the second part of the first half.
See the season stats, Huntington just slightly under their season-long three-point percentage as we get back into play here. A little above their field goal percentage on the year, still taking good care of the basketball. Like I said, just took them a while to get going here. They're up 5. They can't hold for the last shot, but they can get one more good one here before the break as Paul is fouled. Williams will knock Paul down and knock the Foresters into the double bonus.
Yeah, Cameron Williams, very solid defender, a little over a steal per game, and he's definitely going to apply a lot of pressure, especially to someone as offensively talented as JP.
And JP having a career year on the offensive end, 14 points per game, 43% from the field. Is not taking many threes at all at 33%, but where he makes his money, 4.3 rebounds, 5.1 assists, and shooting free throws well until that one at 77%. He's already had a triple-double this year. He's had a career high at 22 points against Morningside. His assist-to-turnover ratio is 3.8 in the Crossroads League.
Yeah,
so
when you're watching him dribble, he's got such a tight handle on it.
misses both, and that will give Goshen a chance to cut into this lead heading into the halftime break. Huntington has shot free throws horribly here tonight as they are now just 3 of 7, 3 of 8 from the charity stripe. Northern has it ripped away. Huntington can get the last shot. Jackson Paul finds Brenner, who fires in transition and hits it at the buzzer.
Absolute money, a pure stroke from Brenner.
JP steals, sets it up, and Cade Brenner sends the Foresters into the half with their largest lead of the night. An 8-point swing and a big one by the bench crew got them back on track. We'll send you to a break. Brenner, a bomb. The Foresters up 8 as we head to halftime on FDN Sports.
Hi, my name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Forester Camps is making new friends.
A great way to explore different opportunities.
Great way to experience life here at Huntington University.
I looked into OTA and it looked like a lot what I wanted to do, but I still wasn't really sure like what all it was.
But I did know that I did want to be in the medical field, but I don't really have a stomach for blood. This was a different way to be able to help people like physically, but not have to open them up.
Since it's a smaller place, everyone knows each other. You know, they can invest time in each other.
This would be a great way to learn about it and see what it is.
So I saw how life-changing that can be, and it made me want to do that.
I'm Megan Hosteller. I'm the producer of the In the Beginning, Our Purpose event, and currently we are getting ready for Britt Nicole to come in and just have an intimate worship night with here at HU with all of our students. We're currently getting ready for the camera team to come in, as well as the lighting and everything like that. Our whole team has just put in a lot of effort and time into this event, and we're just really excited to see how it pays off.
One of the big goals for this project is from our community. We want to bring people into this worship night to come in and have a really great experience, to be impacted. We want people to come in and worship God, and ultimately the goal is about finding our purpose. A lot of people are trying to figure out, hey, what's my purpose? Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing the next 5-10 years? There's going to be a lot of change happening. So what am I supposed to be doing? So the goal of the event is to help people find that purpose through worshiping God, through asking the Holy Spirit to grant us wisdom in these moments, grant us wisdom this night as we sing praises to you, as we receive wisdom from you, as we receive your truth tonight, and ultimately come together in a corporate community to praise you together.
When I saw the name of this, actually the first time I saw it, I think was like on Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. In the beginning, our purpose, like this is truly why we were designed and created, was to worship God, you know. And so I love the name of it. I love that, you know, they had a heart and a vision to bring this to their school. And honestly, I've just been so excited, like leading up this whole month. Just my spirit has felt really excited and stirred for what God is going to do tonight. What's cool about it is it doesn't feel like it's about like one particular person. It just feels like, even the way it's set up, it just feels like this is about everyone and just coming together for one purpose.
To me, Forester Camps is learning new things.
Definitely a lot of fun.
To me, Forester Camps is a great experience.
A great way to explore different opportunities.
There is a lot of really cool activities and opportunities you can get here. It's really informative on how college actually is, and the people are really nice.
Something that everybody can find something that interests them.
All the professors, all the faculty, they're intentionally welcoming to us.
You learn a lot here and you learn it well.
It was a camp that had so much to offer. Like everything I was interested in, it was being taught here, and it was like I couldn't really pass it up.
And it's fun too. It's something that like people can be engaged in and have a great time, but also still learn life lessons and lessons about the Bible.
Super fun, but also super educational. Like they took the education process and made it fun.
To me, Forester Camps is making new friends.
I hoped that I would be able to make more friends who have not really been around much.
I was also kind of hesitant because like I'm an introvert, but I got some new friends.
Some of my favorite experiences were like, you know, just getting out and talking to people with similar interests
you know, people who are passionate with like the same thing that you're passionate with.
To me, Forester Camp is fellowship.
To me, Forester Camps is getting to be a home away from home, I guess.
Great way to experience life here at Huntington University.
You meet a lot of different people from either from all over the world or here at campus. A lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different personalities, and I think that's a really good opportunity.
To me, Forester Camp is like engaging.
To me, Forester Camps is amazing.
A great opportunity to learn about what you want to pursue in life.
A space to learn new things in a safe environment.
Inspiring.
A good look in on the real college experience.
You don't really have anything to lose by coming to the camp. I think a lot of people are scared to take that risk. I could promise you that you wouldn't be bored or not have a good time here.
Something only happens one time in the universe. It never happens exactly the same. So like, you better take your opportunity while you can.
To me,
to me,
to me, to me.
To me, Forester Camps is
a lot of different opportunities with a little bit of Jesus mixed in.
I saw Forester Camp when I was at school. It said health science, and I'm like really interested in medicine.
I was really set on nursing, but I didn't know any else like biology, chemistry, things like that. So health science was able to broaden my spectrum and learn more things in the science world.
It's opened my mind to a lot of things in the medical field. I'm definitely taking away a lot of knowledge that I didn't have before. Also a lot of new friends.
I was also kind of hesitant because like I'm an introvert, but I got some new friends.
There isn't just like one set biology you can do, from microbiology to biochemistry. So knowing my options is something that I'm gonna take away.
I'm wanting to learn about health sciences and like God is all through health. Like God created all of us. That's pretty freaking cool.
One of the greatest opportunities I've had for my profession in the future.
If you're interested in something, or if you want to go to college, or if you want to make friends, go.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Welcome back into Platt Arena. It was another slow start for the Foresters, but a fast finish. A bench barrage of threes from Luke LaGrange, Wyatt Zepp. Those three combined for 9 quick points. Got Huntington right back in this game. And then right into the halftime break, Cade Brenner hit a big one to put Huntington up 8, which is their largest lead of the night, Jaden.
Yeah, Brenner with the buzzer beater right when they needed it most. Hopefully that's not only a wake-up call, like definitively, but also just something that can push the momentum further in their favor, because obviously they had a slow start, which we've seen a couple times with this Huntington team, but they've really turned it around.
So Coach Yak about to put on our referee microphone. Coach, it was a slow start, but you guys got a huge lift from 3 guys who've barely played all year long. Wyatt Zepp, Luke LaGrange, they hit 3 threes, got you guys back on track.
Yeah, they just played hard. It wasn't anything special they did outside of just playing extremely hard, sharing the ball, and asking them to do, or doing what we're asking them to do. So big time from them.
Coach, obviously we talked about some of these slow starts. It was another one tonight. How do you avoid that kind of start here in the second half? What's the message to your team to get back on track?
We're just going to play the 5 guys that want to play hard.
Yep.
Play 5 guys that want to play hard and compete. Don't care where you're at on the roster or on the bench, but we're going to find 5 guys that do that this half.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll see you after the game. 39-31, Forester lead as Coach Yak, he's stuck with his guns. I mean, some coaches would probably continue to play their starters, see if they can find their way out. But Coach Yak has shown if you're not playing hard, if you're not putting in that effort or simply not running the system that he wants, he'll yank you. And honestly, Wyatt Zepp, you were starting to get into a little bit of a danger zone, even against an 0-5 Goshen Maple Leafs team. Any team can beat you on any night. Wyatt Zepp comes in. For now, it feels like he could have saved the night, him and Luke LaGrange.
Absolutely. I mean, the Foresters were playing a very post-heavy game. They played a lot through Caden Johnson, and it just wasn't working. The Maple Leafs were playing very aggressive down low. They were making Caden fight for every single thing that he wanted, and they wouldn't give it to him except for a couple of dunks. But everyone started off slow, and they came in and just really saved at least the first half, if not anything.
Huntington up 8, about to show you some of the stats that got us here. It was a slow start, as mentioned by HU, but they really heated up shooting the ball. At one point, they were 1 of 10 from 3. They're now 6 of 16 and 15 of 30 from the field in general. A good sign is, like the women's team earlier, 10 of their 15 field goals have been assisted, so they're passing the ball well. Just 4 turnovers, 3 of 8 from the free throw line. That is not good enough and not what you want to see from HU. On the other side, Maple Leafs did cool off a little bit, but still 11 of 24 for 46%. 46% as well from outside, and then 4 of 6 from the free throw line. What hurt Goshen a little bit, a couple of late turnovers, and then you just can't really say how big that 3-ball is by Cade to send Huntington into the half up 8.
Yeah, you really can't. But what we did see a lot of 3-balls from Savion Williams. He came out and he showed that even though his current stats don't show that he's a sharpshooter, he came in and he said, I've still got that in my bag. And he really showed that. He's 2 for 4 from beyond the arc, and he was popping it with confidence. So I'd love to see really everyone continue to shoot with confidence.
Huntington up 39-31 as we just about are set for our second half here in action.
Everyone's antsy to get back to it. They're already on the
Seems
court.
Like it. See Goshen Maple Leafs being taught what Coach Gingrich would like from his team. Goshen has really struggled as a basketball program for a while now. They've actually lost 48 straight Crossroads League games, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel because they did have a stretch this year. They won 3 straight games. They're 7-8 right now. That's more wins than last season and the year before combined. So Coach Gingrich taking over as the AD and the basketball coach trying to get this team back on track. Paul catches from good. Ball movement working right in the painted areas. Lasisi forces it up, gets his own miss. Good, puts it on the floor. Kalen right back to work with his back against the basket. He's got such good footwork, a strong move, but can't get it to go. An empty trip there for Kalen and the Foresters as the Maple Leafs will try to cut into this 8-point lead. Drive inside, Lasisi, good defense, but better offense there by Mina Ravacek as he gets one to go. Slovakian native has his first field goal of the night.
Yeah, I saw JP and Lasisi talking. JP was probably telling him to go up with it. And he has been so far. He's taken 3 shots. No luck on making them, though.
Lasisi thought he may have been fouled, but in transition, Goshen comes back. Caden Johnson knocks it out of play as Northern was really just trying to get possession of that basketball all 94 feet down the hardwood.
And they would not let him. They keep possession.
One of our officials having a fun chat with the Goshen bench. It's all smiles, which is usually a good sign. And Ravacek to Northern, puts it on the floor. The small guard creates. Koda had an open look, and now it is the Slovakian again. Can't get it to go. He's got that high-flying European shot that we've seen from so many players across the NBA. Not a great outside shooter at 32%, still capable.
Yeah, they love high-arcing shots for sure.
This is where the ball needs to continue to go. It's Caden Johnson. Lasisi's worked on this part of his game. That's his first try out there and miss as Jackson Paul kept it alive, but Allen, Braden yanks it out, kicks it to Northern in transition, and he knocks it in to pull Maple Leafs right back within 3.
That's what Goshen's been needing, is a spark from Northern. He hasn't had his best half, but that one pushes him up to 9. points. This is now 4 for 10 from the field.
Well, Huntington has the basketball here. Goshen showing a little bit of pressure. It was nearly a steal there from Uri as Huntington will push it across the timeline. Good to KJ. Good coverage there by this Goshen defense. KJ goes to his right hand, spun it in and out, and missed another one in the paint.
He's got to put it up harder to avoid that roll around and just really knock it off the backboard.
Coda, strong move, missed, gets his own rebound, and then Caden Johnson finally comes and clears as he has his 4th rebound, and then a foul is called. And Huntington will get the basketball, but right away we're going to see Lasisi check out. Rebounding has not been perfect for H here. It's now 4 offensive rebounds for Goshen, and Coach Yak again quickly going to Beagle instead of Lasisi, trying to find someone to bring that energy onto the court right now.
Yeah, as he said, the 5 guys that want to play are going to be on the court. Jackson Paul, high arcing layup there.
Yeah, he was looking for a 3-point play, but he had Mina Rabacek in a blender the entire time down the court. It looked like Uri was trying to get back in transition the entire time. JP just went coast to coast. Talked about him being 77% from the line this year. He gets his first one to drop in this time, just 1 for 3 tonight. It's been a little bit of a quiet performance by Jackson Paul, but you talked about it in the first half a little bit, Jaden. He has 5 assists, and that's what he's done. And Coach Yak has preached to him and to me when I go and meet with him. Jackson Paul can win you a game whether he has 0 assists, 10 assists, 0 points, 15 points. He just can impact games in a lot of ways that might not show up.
His presence on the court is felt by every defender.
Cameron Williams is the go-to offensive player in that first half. Brenner gambled, Allen got by him, and now Kenny May, who's back in, was able to pick that rolling ball up. And it's a short shot. Kota kept it in, and it's off of Jackson Paul, and it just got enough iron to reset the shot clock as well. It's 20 on the clock for the Maple Leafs to work.
Paul was so disappointed that he didn't grab that one right there. Just off the feet and then right out of bounds.
41-76. Coach Mitchell Wilson yelling out the play he thought the Maple Leafs might be running. There's a good rebound by Beagle, and now Huntington wants to push it.
That's one of the rare cases where you're too open. He went from his smoother jumper to a more set foot, and he just couldn't get that one to fall.
KJ to Landon Beagle looking for his first 3. He's empty on the stat sheet so far tonight, at least from the scoring column. Miles Good runs down another possession. Good, floats one up, is hammered, and will only have a chance for 2 as he'll head to the line for 2 shots.
And with that much contact, you know he really wanted that one to fall, but just another unlucky bounce. It feels like that rim in particular is just a little extra bouncy for the Foresters.
So Good back to the free throw line. He has made the 2nd most free throws in the entire Crossroads League. And now in Crossroads League play, he is 25 of 30 from the free throw line, shooting at 84% on the season, and absolutely perfect on those 2.
He's a strong and compact guard. Like I said, he's quick. He's going to get to the rim in half a second, and you're going to have no option but to foul him.
43-36, 16 minutes left in the game. Huntington trying to come away with a 3rd Crossroads League win. Williams being guarded well by Good. Now 12 on the shot clock for Goshen to go to work. Williams fouled by Good as he went straight into Miles on the 3-point attempt. That is something the game's trying to get a little bit away from, jumping into the shooter.
Yeah, they had a whole rule change about it because of, obviously, Harden. It's definitely an easy way to get free throws.
Yep, and they're going to come look at this as well, so it will more than likely turn into our media timeout. We'll wait and see how the officials want to handle it, but for now, we're going to send it to a break, and then we will come back with an answer from the 3 officials here inside Platt Arena. We'll see if something gets switched up, and we'll tell you in just a few here on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
So the refs came and looked at the replay here to see if there was maybe a flagrant foul on the shooter Williams. We did not get confirmation yet, but this is what they're looking at. Williams gets good in the air and then tries to go into his shooting motion, hits good in the nose, but it looks like they're going to stick with their original call. So what the change was a couple of years ago, or at least I think it was a few years ago, they wanted you to still keep a natural shooting motion. They didn't want someone getting you up in the air and then going into the defender like that. Now, if you go straight up and down, you don't allow the shooter to land. That's when they've really emphasized calling a foul.
Yeah.
That time, yeah, go ahead.
That can be a season-ending injury
Right.
if landing, just a little slant-footed. That's actually a very important thing, and I'm glad that they've increased their noticing of it.
Well, Williams misses the second after cashing in on the first. He's got one more. And I don't think it was necessarily flagrant. However, I think if the rule is as anticipated, that's not a defensive foul. I don't know. That's a tough one because it looked like there was more contact than there really was.
Yeah.
But that's not the intent of that call.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough call to make.
So we still will have our under 15 media timeout. That was confirmed by the officials as JP will roll to the rim, use that screen nicely from KJ and has another 2.
JP thrives in contact. It's good to see him getting back to his roots.
That was really good for Huntington in the second half against Lawrence Tech, a good Lawrence Tech team. Getting those two into pick and roll, and Jackson Paul made every single read correctly. Northern, in a sea of white, has to skip it back out. Here's a shot from Williams, who is just heating up again here in this second half. 10 points now.
Cameron Williams, that was a bucket. He's 2 for 2 from beyond the arc now.
He's only 5'11", but that elevation is quite noticeable as KJ gets that one over top of the rim and in for another dunk.
That was a close one. He was a little far out on that one. That could have been dangerous.
Yeah, that's the difference between Lasisi's athleticism and KJ's, as Kenny May kept that pivot foot down. He had a nice start to his game when he got in. This time he's got a loose ball on the floor, and it's last touched by Landon Beagle. Great replay here by our camera on the baseline. They threw it off of him. Smart.
Yeah. That was very quick thinking. It looks like there was some discussion between Jackson Paul, Miles Good, and the ref because they were confused how that was out, but that was just quick thinking.
May
coming
able
right
to keep
for us
that
there.
footing in there, and again, Coach Yock screaming that the foot of May was directly on the line. Step back Williams, he's feeling it now. That time it's off the mark. Jackson Paul has it. Good on the left wing. Will drive to the rack, go up and under, and use that English to spin it in.
Man, he is so quick. Like 3 steps and he was under and on the other side of the rim, putting it up and in.
Now 4 for 7 from the field tonight, 11 points for Miles, as he's continued to go to the rim and has had a lot of success doing so. Northern had it knocked away, good on the floor. Miles is going to pick up a foul, and that is now going to take us to our under 15 media timeout. Miles good, doing it on the defensive end, just did it on the offensive end, and Huntington continues to hang around with an 8-point lead here on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
(49-41) Foresters, they have not lost any ground, but they have also not gained any ground since the half where they were up 8. And while we get a chance, Jaden, we're going to take you around the Crossroads League, tell you what's going on with some teams in the area and in Huntington and Goshen's conference. IWU is taking it to Mount Vernon right now, 63-48. Taylor on top of St. Francis. That's who Huntington sees next. They're up 67-55. Taylor second in the conference right now, having a really nice season.
Absolutely.
Grace just completely unbothered by anyone they've seen so far this year. They are well on their way to a 16-0 start. They're up 49-28. And Spring Arbor Bethel, only school in the entire country. You have to go to their website to find live stats. It's really a pain. So I'm not even going to do that right now. I'll tell you more about the Spring Arbor Bethel game here in just a little bit. Huntington right now up 8. This is Braden Allen, who gets it back to Northern. Left side, Deacon Hill, who's a flamethrower from outside, in for his second run in this game. Williams has the smaller good on him. Power dribbles against Beagle. Beagle blocked him. That 6'5" frame from Landon contested the shot well.
Beagle's been grabbing boards and blocking shots tonight. He's been there where he's not normally.
Surprisingly bigger player than what you would expect if you see him on the screen. Is good, steps back from 3. It's still off the mark, just that one triple tonight.
Yeah, good, not having the best game of his season for sure.
Renner gets the loose ball. Cade fights for it. Trying to tie him up is Williams, which he does do so. And possession going to stick with Goshen. Oh no, I think they're going to give a timeout to Huntington.
Really?
And
Did Lasisi call it while he was laying down?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's going to be a 30-second timeout. And they're going to extend it into a media, even though we just had a media, right? Didn't we just have the under 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're making up rules here in the second half. Either way, Huntington's up 8. We'll take it to a break. Forrester showing a little fight.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
(49-41). Huntington 18 of 39, 6 of 19 from downtown, 7 of 12 from the stripe. That has gotten a little better since the halftime break. 5 turnovers, just 1 so far in the second half. Doing a little better job on the Maple Leafs, but Jaden 14 of 13, 7 of 16. This Goshen team's not going away. They've lost 0 ground since the halftime break.
No, definitely honestly a shocking performance from a team that struggled in conference play. Again, as you mentioned, they're winless, 0-5 in the Crossroads League, which in such a tough conference, really can't even blame them. But again, this is the prime example of literally any team in the Crossroads League can give it to you any day of the week.
Little pressure being put on good here by Marcus Northern. And now Cade Brenner, who's quiet here in the second half so far. Had 2 triples in the first half, including the one right before the break. There goes Jackson again, and a foul comes late as the shot was strong off the back iron. And Jackson Paul, after this foul here, will take another trip to the line.
Lasisi was up head at the rim on that rebound, and if he can get up that high for a rebound, just imagine how high he can get up for a dunk. And I think that's what Jackson Paul was trying to tell him is like, dude, you have insane athleticism. Like, you've really got to take it to him. And he did start to get a lot more aggressive down in the paint and then was quickly subbed out for Landon Beagle. But they've been able to make it work so far as they push the lead to 9 and maybe get into double digits as we see Caden Johnson come back in.
Jackson Paul up to 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and still struggling a little bit from the free throw line. Now 3 of 6 on the night. And not that same success we've seen so far from JP from the line. And a moving screen called on Deacon Hill. And right now, Goshen feels like they're getting the raw end of the deal, as that is already 5 fouls on them in the first 7 minutes.
The moving screen is not a call that you see all the time, but it's a really unfortunate one because it's a turnover for something that like really isn't called very much.
So Huntington has possession back. They have their largest lead of the night. Up 9, looking to extend that at the moment. Good, staying and driving towards the rim over and over, and Lasisi uses that athleticism and strength to grab it, put it right back in, and it is the largest lead, now up 11.
Finally, they're able to get a bucket down low. They've had so many opportunities to get one, and they're just now able to convert.
Northern drives by JP, sidesteps around Lasisi, nearly gets it to go. And now he will head to the free throw line where he has been 84% so far on the season.
Although the game is still very physical right now, it's definitely turned into less of what really just looked like a wrestling match out there and more into a real physical game of basketball. So it's good to see it get back to just tough, like hard-nosed basketball.
Northern knocks in his first one. He's got one more coming. He is into double digits. For the Maple Leafs, he is the second into double digits. It's now Northern and Cameron Williams. Those two have really been the catalyst for this offense all year long, and that's been the same story tonight. Back within 9 are the Maple Leafs.
That was an interesting sequence.
More pressure from Goshen. Good, gets it across the timeline. Jackson Paul will reset it between the circles. Huntington trying to close one out, get back on a winning streak as KJ keeps that pivot foot down. And again, we talked about it with Addie Shank in the women's game. You just saw it with KJ in the men's game. Those two and their footwork, when they get stopped and still find avenues to the rim, it's impressive, and that's what KJ did again.
I was gonna say, almost the exact same move even there.
Jackson Jones in again as Deacon Hill, who's one of their top 3-point shooters, is off the mark on his first attempt. JP puts his head down, finds Lasisi again inside. He fades away and knocks in the little 6-foot hook shot, and Coach Gingrich needs a timeout. He will take one, and is less than 12 minutes left. Huntington has a 13-point lead, and we will go ahead and take another break with them. Just a 30-second timeout, but Kaylin Lasisi giving Huntington their biggest lead of the night. (56-43). Kaylin Lasisi having a nice start to the second half offensively. He's up to double digits. 10 points now on the night. It's the 3rd leading scorer on the Foresters. Miles Goodright ahead of him at 11. Caden Johnson with 13. I want to tell you, if you're a Goshen fan, a Huntington fan, just a fan of NAIA basketball, leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Tell us where you're watching from. Miss Hill comes off a screen, is off the mark on back-to-back possessions. Just type, tell us where you're watching from. The FDN Sports crew, myself, and Jaden would love to say hello. And just here where everyone's watching some Wednesday night conference basketball as Foresters turn it over.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to watch where you're coming, or hear where you're coming from, but Deacon Hill, his second time coming off of a screen and just taking a wild, like, off-balance three-pointer. Just a very unadvised shot. They're down 13. The game's not over. There's 12 minutes left, and I don't think there's any need to be taking shots like that in such a close game.
45 shots attempted this year, Jaden, 39 of them from three. And he has had 4 straight games with 2+ threes made, so maybe that's what they're trying to get out of him. A couple of threes off balance. It might be higher percentage than some of their other shooters standing still. He's kind of their go-to shooter. Nice move by Northern, who goes high off the glass. And you got to go high off the glass when 6'11's right in front of you.
Absolutely, or you're going to get that thing smacked away.
I want to say hello, of course, from Christy Woods. She seemed to comment much earlier. Of course, Jaden's mom tuning in. Looking for back-to-back wins. And then Brandon Miller says incredible production quality. Congrats to all involved. So
the Hornets player?
I don't think it's the Hornets player.
Oh, well,
I could be wrong. If it is, that would be something.
That would be pretty cool.
Good. Hezzy, drive, bumped, hammered on his way to the rim by Savion Williams. Jared Yock was about to jump on the court if this whistle didn't come, because Williams did go up, but Good was definitely bumped on his way there.
Yeah, he had an arm under his arm, and then he just got tossed to the side. And definitely a foul. And they're going to take free throws, especially with Good taking them. 84% on the season coming into this game. If you want anyone at the line, it's definitely Good.
Good, as talked about, came in tonight, second most made free throws in the conference. Well, we get a chance, Jane. We talked a little bit first earlier. Yeah, right. So we talk about RPI in basketball, and what that stands for is Ratings Percentage Index. All right, are you ready, class? Everyone have a seat. This is used as a key tool for the national tournament selection and seeding, obviously, and this is something that Coach, really Corey Alford, brought a lot of light to me about, because Coach Alford is so analytical about everything. He was actually just listed as a top 100 assistant coach at a mid-major school, by the way, if you saw that. Nice. Maybe some of you didn't. So the NAIA RPI formula, and most college basketball formula, depends on 25% of your winning percentage, 50% of your opponent's winning percentage, and then 25% of your opponent's winning percentage. As Allen will put it on the floor and drive against Spiegel. Takes a tough 10-footer, can't get the roll, and KJ clears. So Huntington's at 2 in the RPI. You can only go one spot higher than that, and that is a big reason because they played the second hardest schedule in America and have 5 ranked wins, Jaden. So that's something to watch. If Huntington's looking to once again host, as KJ catches and misses right at the rim, if Huntington wants to host again, that's a good number to follow along, and it now starts to come out every week. Williams misses a triple. And now Huntington off and running again with JP. Less than 10 minutes left in our game.
Almost something special to oop from JP to KJ. Oh, my goodness.
So 58-45, and we're now at the under 10 media if the refs catch it.
It's been one of them games.
There we go. Now we've got it. So it's under 10 media. We come back. Foresters will shoot the 1-and-1, and it's either going to be Kata Johnson or Jackson Paul. I guess we'll see after this break on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
(58-45), Foresters in front, and either Caden Johnson or Jackson Paul will have a 1-and-1 opportunity after this short break. Just a second, we're going to try to show you an assistant coach over here to our left for the Goshen Maple Leafs. His name's Eric Bowen, and that name should sound quite familiar to Forester fans because he was a tremendous player for right there with the white tennis shoes on, sitting down at the end of the bench nearest to us. That's Eric Bowen. He played for Grace College, 1,500 career points, and he became the interim head coach last year for a while. And I'm assuming, I could be wrong, Coach Gingrich is kind of coaching him up into this position once Coach Gingrich maybe just wants to be the AD. But Bowen, he had as many as 17 points and 15 rebounds against the Foresters in some games. He went to Kokomo High School, where, if I'm not mistaken, won a state title. Was excellent, 4 straight sectional championships there, and then went over to Grace and had a great career. So a familiar face in the building. He played in Platte Arena when the court was actually facing a completely different way. It used to face where you guys are looking from the camera towards us as Williams is headed back to the free throw line. And he did a lot of damage against these Foresters, but it's good to see him over here on the Goshen bench tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if nothing, it's good to have a good basketball player coaching a team. And as you mentioned, like Coach Gingrich, like you can't teach 40 years of experience, but he's a talented coach, and he's done this for a long, long time. I was going to bring up at the start how he hasn't had a losing season since '96, which, again, that's just something you can't teach. But I'm sure he's trying.
That's before I was born.
Yeah,
I mean, that's 29 years ago.
10
now
years
30
before I was born.
30 years ago, if I guess, depends what the date was. But yeah, he's really done well. They actually, over at the high school he coached at for all those years at Hillcrest, first off, 4th all time in career wins as a high school coach at Iowa. They just named the gym after him because he was so successful. And an and-one opportunity now after a Taden Metzger turnover. Right back at the Foresters goes Carlson, who's been a bright spot off the bench.
Yeah, Carlson has been very solid tonight. It's been a game where really just anyone is able to help. Like anyone that's able to help needs to get in the game. Carlson took one and made one another. He's got 3 points, 2 boards, picked up a couple fouls, which honestly could be bad, could be good, because the Foresters have just been dominant, at least here in the last little bit. But with this one, they're able to bring it down to a 10-point lead.
And with the pressure, you never know how a team might respond to pressure, get it thrown at them. Huntington's done a pretty good job at breaking presses so far this year, but Max McComb in there, kind of new to the program, new to the process. They just have to be smart, take care of the ball, and knock in some shots here over the last 9 minutes. Jackson, a lot of dribbling here on this possession, but does carve his way to the rim for another right-handed finish off glass.
He's got great basketball IQ. He knows exactly when it needs to be an underhand, when it needs to be an overhand.
He's getting close to that 1,000-point mark as well, now at 920 coming in, make it 929 career points as Coda shows a little footwork right back at KJ, a little taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, that was great footwork right there to get the even bigger man off his feet.
Jackson Paul breaks the press, Beagle wide open, still has yet to knock one in from behind the arc. 0 points for Landon tonight.
His shot's just been a little off center.
Feeling it from deep. Carlson was looking for his second tray. Can't find a way to drop it in. Brenner clears as he'll cross the timeline. Nearly had it ripped by Northern. 10-point lead, 8 minutes left in Platte Arena. Huntington looking to get to 8-0 at home as Beagle has another chance. Still can't find the range. Max McComb wins the extra possession. Brenner tries, he misses. The two juniors just not shooting it real well tonight. And now McComb fouls in transition.
Yeah, just pushed him back over the half-court line right there, and you just can't do it. But you like to see him at least getting tenacious out there and trying his best to stop the the transition layup.
Jaden Christie's still watching. She wanted you to know that she's still tuned in and enjoying the broadcast from Valpo and the Goshen Maple Leafs. They're watching. You guys should be cheering on the Maple Leafs. They're hoping that Goshen can get back in it. And right now, I'd say they're doing a pretty good job at that, down 9. And then Ryan Beagle watching from Alpena, Michigan. Alex Dawley, nice to hear from him, was a grad assistant coach under Corey Alford alongside Jared Yock the last couple of years. And then Carrie May watching from Cassopolis, Michigan. Go Leafs, she says. Hope I said that right. Hope you guys are all enjoying FD in Sports. It's Lasisi. It almost looked like he lost possession of that, and it just banked in, but Lasisi up to 12 now.
That's a good bucket either way, and they want him taking shots from that area.
McComb defending well. The freshman trying to earn his stripes here tonight. Out of Carmel, Indiana, went to University High School. Lasisi back in. Beagle makes the save, and Huntington up 11, pushes the pace again.
Man, Jackson Paul has such a tight handle on the ball.
Got the tight handle and got the strength as he comes flying down the court, coast to coast, head down. Coda picks up the personal, and Jackson Paul has a chance to add on to a 13-point lead.
Get yourself a bucket, boy. I mean, he looked like, every time I see a clip where they go coast to coast, it reminds me of the Kyrie clip from like the USA team, but he just did such a good job of pushing off Northern and making space for himself in the paint.
Jackson up to 12 points, and he'll get a well-deserved break as Miles Good will come in.
Miles Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's going to need to fill in that athletic role.
And what I was going to say is it's good for Miles to get some break, because before the Lawrence Second Bethel game, they went to Arizona. He played 79 of 80 total minutes in those games.
Yeah, definitely needs a bit of a breather. And he thought he would get that here at home against a team that hasn't won a conference game, but they've been putting up a great fight.
Northern is fouled. He might have been fouled a couple of times. I think Lasisi got him on the initial drive, but then Brenner was beat to the right side, and Northern banked it in. Northern's putting together another nice performance. He's up to 16 over his season average, and now 17 with that make. He's a good player, and he's not a big guard, but he's so crafty.
Yeah, I was going to say Northern is what I would describe as just a hooper. He just plays basketball, and he plays it good.
Lasisi nearly traveled. Max McComb has it again, as Williams was trying to bait one of the officials into an offensive foul, and now Huntington settles in with 14 on the shot clock. Good. Lots of dribbling here on this possession, but pulls it back to his right, finds an open McComb. Can't get it to go, but Johnson keeps it alive. Brenner steps into one, still nothing.
Brenner 2 for 8 from beyond the arc. He had a couple big ones, but he's just kept trying to shoot it and not had much luck.
Lasisi does well to sit defensively on the guard. Northern Brenner now beat again on the drive, but Johnson had a block. Huntington has a 5-on-4 if they push it down the court. Good. Right side, Brenner again, 2 for 9 now as he's off the mark once more. Allen finds Savion Williams. Knocked in 2 early triples, which isn't really his game. He likes to do more of this at 6'5". Williams drives against the bigger Johnson. Got him up in the air, missed it. Lasisi cleared, and Johnson gets the loose ball.
They're really letting them play right now. Not that that was a hack or anything, but I haven't heard a foul call in a minute, which is pretty refreshing, and the commentator curse gets me. Right there is Miles Good.
Yeah.
Is fouled.
Williams just a little too aggressive on the drive here, and Good is so good at working his body into the... Good is excellent at working his way into the defender as Williams picks up his 4th. 67-56, now 68-56. And 5 for 5 is Miles Good from the line tonight.
Yeah, Miles Good has just been, he's always going to be, I mean, you can't say it enough. He's a very, very talented free throw shooter, and really free throw isn't, looks like they think there's an extra man on the court.
I'm not exactly sure, but Cameron Williams will make his way off. Kenny May is on. And Miles Good will have one more free throw. Not really sure what was going on there.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he was supposed to get subbed and then didn't. Either way, knocks down the next free throw.
This game's been weird tonight.
Yeah, this game has been, yeah, there's just a, an air about it.
Yes. Right side drive, Allen. Good job by KJ staying straight up, vertical, and a long pass. McComb, Lasisi, and Jackson Paul connect again, and Kalen just keeps rising and rocking the rim.
Lasisi is a motivator, if nothing else. Unreal.
Kenny May against McComb. Steps through. First time in the game. Left side triple off the mark from, that was Caleb Thompson from Indianapolis, Indiana. Can't get his first attempt to go. And now JP will settle back in. 20 on the shot clock to work with. 71-56. Huntington a little more comfortable here now than what they were in the first couple of minutes of this game, and actually pretty late into the first half. 6 on the shot clock. Jackson finds Kalen again, that time blocked by Savion Williams. Up ahead, Thompson was trying to play wide receiver, and it fell right through his hands.
Lasisi not used to someone being able to get up there with him. He was kind of shocked at that block.
That takes us to our under 5 media timeout. Huntington continues to add on to their lead. They're up 15 as we have reached the final break of the night. Foresters in control now. A big reason why? The key. Lasisi with another dunk hanging on the rim and putting HU up 15.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Huntington up 15, 25 of 55 from the field, just 6 of 25 from 3. It has not been their night. They've only made 1 3, maybe 1 3 in the second half. Am I wrong about that? Have they made a 3 at all in the second half, Jaden? It's just not been their
Well, they were 5 of 15 going into the second.
So yes, they've made 1 of 10 again.
1 of 10 again.
Same way they started the first half.
We'll see how they turn it around in the last 4 minutes, I guess.
Right.
But starting both halves at 1 and 10 from beyond the arc is just not, you just can't be doing that.
And they're still doing a good job taking care of the basketball. 7 turnovers, 13 assists on 25 made field goals. So that is a positive.
Yeah.
But the shooting has just been a little off tonight and not usually what we're used to. This Forester team can light it up, but like many teams, they are streaky and they have a lot of streaky shooters on their roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're still shooting over 45%, even with going 1 for 10 this half.
Lasisi this time isn't going to be denied and goes strong with the left hand. He is now up to 16 points, which is a new career high for Kalen Lasisi as an NAIA basketball player. Thompson. And now May, who had that fast start, falls away from 12 feet. McComb played perfect defense, but May, just with that 6'4", 6'5" frame, enough to get it over the top of McComb.
Yeah, Lasisi is such a raw prospect, but he's also so talented.
That time he catches, almost threw it up behind his head to get to 18 points now. And Jackson Paul up to 8 assists now. Savion Williams had 2 earlier. That one's in and out. JP out and running again. Tried to go behind the back. It was kicked by Goshen.
But it looks like the refs maybe didn't see that one. I didn't even see that one.
Huntington can challenge this. They're going to. They're going to call a timeout and take a look at this. And this is the second time we're going to see Coach Jared Yock use a coach's challenge. That is something you can do nowadays in the NAIA with an out-of-bounds call. So we're going to send it to a break. The refs will come look. We'll tell you what we have when we come back. Huntington up 17 on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
So Jared Yock, his second career coaches challenge is going to be an unsuccessful one. He's now 1 for 2. He won one back in that Morningside game. So what happens there is Coach Yock loses his ability to challenge the next one. You see him and his staff laughing because it seems like this game result is now comfortably favoring towards Huntington. Yeah. But you lose your ability to challenge once more. You also lose a 30-second timeout. So not the end of the world in a game like this, but you want to make sure you use those wisely in a close game.
Yeah, definitely.
Northern shot that one from way deep and into the bleacher, face directly in for Braden Allen. And now a timeout by the refs as Allen went face first into the bleachers.
He crashed into the Gatorade stand right there too, and yeah, that was immediately assistant coach that you were just talking about. He was immediately very upset about that.
Yeah, I think they thought Good may have pushed him a little too hard into the bleachers, and then Allen, to not Good's fault, but went directly into the bleachers. And they're going to come look at this one as well. So when we come back, we will tell you what the decision is. They're trying to decide if this is a flagrant foul, but if it is one, it's probably going to be on the bleachers.
Yeah.
And not Miles Good. 3:08 left. We'll be right back after this one. Back in Platte Arena, 75-58. Gonna give you a look at the officials here, taking a look at this, and then we're gonna show you the replay as well. They're looking to see if this was a flagrant foul, but the thing to me is Miles Good didn't cause the damage here. He may have been going for a loose ball. He may have bumped Braden Allen, but Braden Allen was injured because he ran into the bleachers. As unfortunate as that is, you can't call it a flagrant foul on Miles Good.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say it's definitely not a foul on Good. He didn't push him. He had no malicious intent with it, but
it's like one of those unfortunate things you see. That'd be the same as a football player being shoved after catching a ball and running into the goalpost and getting injured that way. So I think they're just going to say it was a clean play, because it would have been different if Good threw a fist and hit Braden Allen in the face, and that's what hurt him. Then I understand, but this is what happened. So the replay is Allen going after this loose ball. Good is trying to track it down. He's just going after it, and Allen goes straight into the bleachers and hits his head. That's why the play was stopped, and that is a correct stoppage of play, because a player might be in imminent danger or a head injury. We've had those stoppages of play not judged correctly this year in Platte Arena that went against the Foresters. That time it was appropriate. They got it sorted out, and I think they made the right call, Jaden.
I completely agree with you.
3 minutes left. Miles Good again. Carves, floats, can't finish. McComb kept it alive, and Lassisi and Beagle combined for another possession.
I get why McComb's still in here. He is fighting for every single rebound.
Jackson Paul strong to the rim again. There's Kalen once more, and it's tipped out last off of Lasisi. And Jackson Jones will come in. Miles Good will take a break. Here's the replay. You can see it just spun off the left hand of Kalen Lasisi on that last possession.
It's been tough basketball, and I mean, that situation right there is the acclamation of it really is. It's poked away.
Beagle uses his speed to take the steal. McComb goes strong to the rim, was denied by May. Right at 2 minutes left in this one. Goshen trying to somehow miraculously come back. It'll start with Northern, who misses. Lasisi knocked it away from Jackson Paul, and it goes out of bounds, and Goshen will have another chance.
Yeah, the reason same team is a thing is because it happens so often. You're so used to fighting so hard to get every board, especially in a game like this, that sometimes you don't even realize it's your own teammate you're pulling away from.
Maybe the biggest thing going on right now, though, Jaden, is some of Huntington's starters are getting a little bit of a break, and they just have not gotten much of that, as that's knocked away by Kenny May. And Huntington will get the ball. I mean, you got people like Caden Johnson on the bench, Good on the bench, and a handful of other players that just play so many minutes getting rest, and that is massive coming down the stretch. And you look at the schedule and how things are playing out as some of the Forester bench players will come in to finish this one.
They'll receive a standing ovation as they come out as well.
This game against Taylor on Saturday might be the biggest single game of the season, because that can flip you into the top 4, or it can kind of keep you outside that bubble.
Yeah, it's an incredibly important contest as Zepp gets one through contact.
8 points for Wyatt Zepp. Couple of threes. Team came out and tried to defend him at the line. Now he gets to the rim. Nice night for him. First big performance for him in a Huntington uniform, as it's rebounded back to the top of the key. Long three on the way. Too strong. Another offensive board there by Joshua Gentry. Inside, way too high. And again, one of our camera women.
Yeah, I was going to say, catching strays almost.
Yeah, nearly in harm's way down there. A lot of crew we've had tonight for both games. Excellent job on replays. You watched the game for Huntington at Bethel, and their replay system took about 7 minutes each time they went to review, as LaGrange is off the mark. He had a big 3 earlier in this game. But our crew, our students, have just done an excellent job here tonight, manning the room in the back, but also bringing you all the live action inside Platt Arena. 3 ball is short. That one by Jacob Eiler from Detroit, Michigan. And now Jones will stop the play. Coach Yock just calls a timeout to get his subs in. Let's go ahead and run through the crew list tonight. Team leaders, Emmy Malone, Jonathan Peters. Jonathan also producing. Bryant Faustino Ramirez directing. Mandy Harrington's doing the audio. Riley Hauk, hope I'm saying that right, is doing, Hauke, there you go, is doing the graphics. Emmy Malone also doing replay. Adria Ruberg is on playback. Jaden Woods to my right, Preston Usman here. Right. Olivia Smith, who is part of that NAIA National Tournament volleyball team up on Plex Cam 1. Connor Stacy on Cam 2. Abby Mahia Leone just about hit by the ball down here to our left on the baseline. Isaac Winters on the other baseline camera. Excellent job by them as McComb floats one up, gets his own miss, goes strong to the rim, and that is Max McComb's first 2 collegiate points.
He wanted it real bad, and he got it, and he fought for it.
3-pointer by Eiler, who comes right back. He only had 3 points coming into tonight's game. He adds 3 more there. McCombs, Jones in transition, and everything just dropping in as Jones hits what is probably the last shot of the night for the Foresters. They put up 82 here, and a couple of the guys have just not had much playing time. Really some unsung heroes tonight.
Yeah, bench crew had an incredible game tonight. I believe they shot probably 80% from beyond the arc. They just were killers from back there.
The bench bombers.
There you go.
Can we say that? So, free throws for Vasilis Petridus, who is from Cyprus. course, very close to the country of Greece, and you'll hear a lot of names very similar to that in the Cyprus area.
Yeah.
In Greek. That is not a language I am very good at pronunciating or announcing, so hopefully that sounds good to anyone watching from those areas tonight.
I believe those were his 2 first collegiate points.
Huntington will hold, they will dribble it out, and they will move back to 500 in the Crossroads League, an 82-63 victory. And it didn't start great for HU, but they came out in that second half, outscored Goshen 43-31, find a way to win tonight. You can't take anything for granted in this league, Jaden. Goshen gave a good fight, but Huntington does what they needed to do, and they come out on top.
Absolutely, and it's a story we've heard time and time again. The Foresters started rough and then clawed their way back. And in this one, they never really had to claw their way back, but they did have to completely adjust everything. Of course, the bench squad came out and did what needed to be done. They were fire starters for the crew. They got a ton of points, and that's what needed to happen, so that's what happened.
So we will wait for Coach Jared Yock to come over and talk with us. Kalen Lasisi has a career high 8 of 12 from the field. 9 rebounds go along with it. Coach Yock will look over the stats, and then we will have him join us on our third headset in just one moment, as Coach Yock picks up win number 12 to move to 12-4 on the season. Coach, obviously it wasn't the start that you would have dreamt of coming in, but you guys did turn it on there in that second half. You outscored Goshen by 12 points. Kalen Lasisi, his best night as an NAIA basketball player, 18-9. We talked earlier today.
Yep.
You said one guy that you would like to see step up, even though he's already done a good job, is Key, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, he was really good. I thought he was just making quick, aggressive moves at the rim. When he keeps it simple, he's such an explosive athlete that he's hard to guard down there, and he gets some smaller guys on him and can kind of just overpower them and finish through them, and he did that tonight.
Obviously, it was frustrating for you in the first half. You sent a message to your team. You brought in some guys that, quite frankly, aren't in the rotation. Luke LaGrange is someone we rarely ever talk about. Kind of shadowed by his dad, who was such a great player here. But Luke means so much to you guys. You remember this in the Morningside game. You guys couldn't throw anything into the hoop. He came in, hit a big three, did the same thing here tonight. That might be forgotten, but it won't be forgotten by you.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's a guy that just shows up every day and works. He makes a huge impact on our team. He's a leader off the court. He's a leader spiritually in that locker room, and he's always ready for the moment. And I can count on that kid to step in, and I know he's going to give us good minutes, and he's going to play his tail off out there. And that's what he did tonight. That's what he did in the Morningside game. And, you know, always happy for him when he can step in and make an impact.
So you guys move to 3-3 in conference play. You've got Taylor coming in, who's now sitting a second in the conference. They're playing really good basketball. That game means a lot already early in the conference season. What's the plan for getting ready for that one? What do you expect from your squad here back in Platte Arena Saturday at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, we got to have 2 great days of prep. We've won 3 days this week. Now we got to win these next 3. So we're gonna get to work on them right away, and we'll be ready to go. They're a really good offensive team, so we'll clean some stuff up defensively, clean a few things up on the offensive end, and we'll be ready for Taylor on Saturday.
All right, congrats, Coach, and we'll see you right back here on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. A win over Goshen tonight, 20-point win for the Foresters. A slow start. They got back on track. They will have a great test here Saturday, and that's one that can kind of, as I said, flip the script. It's not going to drop you out of conference contention if you lose, and it's not going to be a bad loss, but if you win that game, you start thinking, man, maybe we can host a national tournament game again, those pods again. And the women's team kind of thinking the same thing. It's a big day of basketball on Saturday, and I think Coach Yock will have his team ready to roll for that.
Absolutely. Coach Yock is very excited. He's going to have a good game, and I think with coming off a game like this, it's going to be an exciting one for sure.
We want to thank everyone back in the studio here in Platte Arena as well for allowing us to bring this broadcast here tonight. It's been another production of FDN Sports. For Preston Husband, Jaden Woods, Jackson Jones, he'll send you home with a Foresters win, 82-62. We'll see you Saturday at 1 o'clock.